All right. Hello, my darlings. It's Michaela. So, I wanted to bring up this concept that I talk about quite a bit at Still Point on the table of receiving and releasing, or receiving and responding. So, many of us desire to have an evaluation of what's going on, and that is absolutely what goes on at Still Point. And that's actually something that can just be a helpful feedback to know what's going on with your body. So whether that's, if you've heard myself or another therapist talk about, change since when you started to come in, or, things feel different today, or this feels better. All of that is just information. So there is, I feel like often we want an evaluation of good or bad, right or wrong. And so I will talk about this element of healthy tissue. So receiving and releasing, or receiving and responding. So healthy tissue feels firm, it feels squishy, and it responds quickly. Basically, massage, manipulation of the tissue, is a suggestion. You are aiming to change something. Generally, it's like the aim is to tenderize the tissue, to make things feel smoother, softer, thinner, more pliable. When you have a tenderized encasement, basically it feels better, it functions better, it is less prone to restriction, to injury, things process faster. That's great. However, we are not always there 100% of the time. And so the thing that I wanted to share with this element, or this concept of receiving and releasing, so regardless of where you begin, that happens. So tissue, basically, what's so amazing about this like living medium that like we get to work with is that it just reflects your lifestyle. It reflects how you're treating your body. It often reflects how you're feeling, whether that is super stressed out, or, this like peaceful princess on a cloud. Whether you are getting a load of sleep, or not drinking much more water, or eating so wonderfully, having, nutritious food and high quality supplements, all of those things, exercising or not, these things just get reflected in your tissue. And the thing that is honestly a source of comfort and not judgment is that it just reflects the truth. And so the thing that is wonderful about that is that there's logic in it. And so if something is not showing up, that's not in accordance with how you've been treating yourself, then there's more opportunity for exploration. But in truth, it's just letting you know what you're doing, or what's working for you, or what's not working for you. Anyway, this element of receiving and releasing happens regardless of where your tissue starts. Healthy tissue, which often, I will say, not to sound too woo-woo, tends to accompany a flexible mind as well. Someone that is interested or able in letting things go, literally letting emotions go, letting stress go, and therefore the body is also able to let junk go, let tension go, let metabolic waste go. Conversely, tissue that feels a little more burdened will feel thicker, disorganized, sometimes sluggish in terms of responding from this suggestion of massage. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just lets us know where we are. It lets us know that there might be a different choice that we wish to make in the future, going forward. And if you have a desire to understand about some like super simple healthy habits, I think actually on Still Point's website there's like the 3 pillars of health. Check that out. Super simple things around, like, honestly, like full body support. There is not an emphasis on like mental or emotional health there, but like physical, physiological, biological, for sure. Okay, 3 pillars of health on Still Point's homepage. But at any rate, the thing that I wanted to say, or I thought to say in this holiday season, this elements of receiving and releasing, or receiving and responding, is that that is what happens regardless of where you are, regardless of how diligent you've been with your body upkeep or not. We take in, and this happens in every sense in terms of, consumption with food and going to the bathroom, or expending energy and, sweating, or, receiving items for your home and needing to get rid of something else. This receiving and responding, someone tells you something, you have a reaction. It is natural, it is constant, it is, and it is passive. And so the thing that I wanted to possibly offer the suggestion about is the element of doing or allowing, really. So people in the treatment room or in the world at large, it's very understandable, common, expected, typical to be very results oriented, to think that that we need to be producing something, creating something, and that we're the ones that are solely responsible for making something happen. And the thing that I thought to talk about today was this aspect of things happening without you having to actively make it happen. So this element of responding or releasing happens. We do receive in many forms and fashions all the time, and our bodies respond or release all the time, creating forward movement, creating change. Our bodies are such miraculous entities. They are wired for health. They are wired to keep you safe. They are wired to heal. And so when we allow, it's inevitable. We don't really have a choice. But if there's a possibility, if there's a need on your end, or a possibility to embrace an element of peacefulness or comfort around that, to know that you are not the sole provider in what is going on in your world at all times, that literally, like, your body has your back. And truthfully, the more we listen to how we respond to something, again, whether that's hearing something, seeing something, feeling something, ingesting something, the more we listen to that response, whether that's like, hey, look at me, I had this like amazing reaction to whatever the hell happened, whatever value judgment you want to put on that, or wow, I walked up a flight of stairs and my heart was pounding out of my chest. That doesn't feel good. It's just information. And the thing that can be so beautiful and make you feel like you have this partner in this journey is to be curious about it, and then to see what makes sense to do next if something different is desired, if a different response is desired. Anyway, I hope that's not too far out there. My desire was to potentially illuminate what happens on the table, that that by doing nothing, you create change, you create forward movement, you create healing, because that is what your body does. And so if you have a desire to have something different in response to what's happening, it's a perfect place to get curious, and to see whether that's educating yourself in another form or fashion, or listening to you as to what might be best for you next. That is a possibility that I invite you to take advantage of. Okay, so I think that's it. I hope you're having an amazing holiday season. I hope that, or I wish to send you a load of freaking love and joy in this time, and also blessings for the new year. Would love to see you in the coming months. And that is it. That is it. Love to you all. Until next time.